Guten Tag, Privet, Dobre Utro, Hola, Selamat Pagi, Good morning. My name is Don Baxter, and I'm one of the co-chairs of the Global Forum on MSM and HIV, along with Othman Malouk from Morocco and Robert Carr from Jamaica. On behalf of the co-chairs and of the whole of the Forum Steering Committee and the Executive Director George Ayala and the staff, can I welcome you to this fourth pre-conference event. The purpose of these events, if I can step through quickly, is really fourfold: to bring together activists, researchers, policymakers, government decision makers and donors for a full day to really for three things: facilitate knowledge and information exchange through presentations and the workshops in our program, to facilitate networking both within countries, across regions and globally, and to promote the advocacy agenda for MSM in the global HIV epidemic. These events assist the steering committee of the forum greatly in assessing priorities, in building agendas, but also we hope the pre-conference also builds skills in advocacy development, and we have some workshops on that in this program. I just want to do, we have at this stage 650 registrations for this pre-conference. Thank you. We're thinking it may be 700 will turn up. Of the 650, we're at about 50% from the Global South. And that was that's a target we set, and we're very pleased to have met that target. This is the first opportunity, we're aware, for many of you to attend one of these events, and in that context we want to offer a particular welcome to our friends and colleagues from Eastern Europe, as this is the first conference that's been held, if not quite in, at least very near to all of the countries of Eastern Europe. And we very much hope that you'll enjoy the conference and that it will assist developments in the Eastern European region. I just want to step very quickly through some headline comments on the context of MSM and the epidemic now and how that relates to the program for the day. And I think stepping through them, using the five strategic goals of the forum, the first one being investment in MSM and HIV programs, and I think the overwhelming contextual factor in the environment we're operating in is the impact of the global financial crisis and the impact the ramifications that's having for funding of both MSM programs and the HIV epidemic globally. And we're very pleased to have as one of our early speakers in the program the CEO of the Global Fund, Michel Kazachkine, to talk about his view of where we're going globally and how the Global Fund might assist us and how we might assist the Global Fund. In terms of coverage over the last few years, coverage of programs, I think we have seen some significant increases, usually often funded through the Global Fund, but a range of other donors as well. But nonetheless, we have woefully inadequate coverage if we're going to make a serious intervention in the epidemics occurring in every country in the world among gay men and MSM. And Chris Beyrer, in his overall presentation, will show some modelling about what will happen under various scenarios if we don't get the increased investment and coverage. In terms of knowledge and information about the epidemic and about MSM and HIV, I think we now have substantially more than what we've had, but having said that, we still have some big black holes globally, one of which is Eastern Europe, but also and Central Asia, but also many other areas we need, particularly, I think, more social research and political research. So there's a big agenda ahead there. Our fourth goal is for decreased stigma and discrimination. Looking back over the last 2 to 3 years since the Mexico City conference, this picture has both negatives and positives. Violence still continues against gay men and transgender in many countries. In particular, we've moved backwards largely in most places in Africa, in Eastern Europe. In the Caribbean, we've had a series of killings in Honduras, and violence continuing in other Caribbean countries. And Joel Nana will analyse in particular the situation in Africa, both the challenges there but also the progress there. And I think we have seen some significant progress in relation to stigma and discrimination and legislative environments. To name just a couple, the repeal of Section 377 in the Indian Penal Code was a big step forward. In a policy sense, UNAIDS and the UN system is moving to a much more articulated human rights approach to the epidemic. The Global Fund has introduced its sexual orientation and gender identity strategy, and UNDP has been showing some commendable leadership on MSM programs. I think one area where we are not addressing very systematically is stigma and discrimination within our own communities. In no country in the Global South, nor in the Global North, is it straightforward or easy to be open about being HIV